You're all welcome. This is a summary of today's practical, period 4, preparation of derivatives of aldehyde and ketones. Okay, and I'm going to be providing an insight to what you are expected to know and what this practical is all about and how you should be able to report correctly. All right, so you were given a background information. Basically, you have to know what a carbonyl group is, and we know fully well that the aldehyde and the ketones have a carbonyl group in common. What is a carbonyl group? Carbon to oxygen double bond, right? So the aldehyde, you should know their chemical formula. You should know the chemical formula for the ketones as well. But in this practical, you are provided with a ketone, not an aldehyde, okay? Because both have a carbonyl group, so we can just choose any, all right? So, but what you essentially produced was 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazone, all right? And you reacted a ketone with 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine, which was acidified with alcoholic sulfuric acid solution. So the question is, why would you have to acidify with alcoholic sulfuric acid solution? That is one question you should ponder on and come up with an answer. And secondly, there was a little mistake in the procedure. The procedure, I mean, in the representation of the dinitrophenyl hydrazine. If you look closely, it is not Brande's reagent. Please, it's a mistake. I saw that, but that name should have been Brady. Remove the N. It is Brady's reagent. So don't make the mistake of maybe some question related to this comes up and you write Brandy's reagent. It will be marked down. Okay, so that is that. So, and through the procedure, you were required to warm the mixture for a few minutes. Why are you warming? Warming has to do with increasing temperature, right? So why would you have to warm? All right, I could only tell you the answer to this because you want to increase the rate of reaction, because temperature affects rate of reaction is a factor. So you're essentially warming to initiate, to cause the reaction to occur between the ketone and the 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine to produce 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazone, right? So that is that. And your derivative, which is the 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazone, is a reddish crystal, okay? That is what you were supposed to produce. And now you were asked to filter out the solid and recrystallize from ethanol, all right? So how did you do that? How was that possible? I'm only going to explain a bit of filtering and recrystallizing, okay? Once you filter out of the solid, which is the crystals, which is on the filter paper as residue through filtration process. Now, what you have to do is dissolve a small amount of ethanol with to the what's it called, the crystals that you just collected. You can put the transfer the crystals to let's say a beaker, then add some few volumes of ethanol to it. Okay, then allow it to cool. Allow it to cool slowly. Once that is done, it will recrystallize. It will form yet more crystals. Okay, that is the process of recrystallization. All right, then you can filter off the liquid and dry the solid, which is the crystals, right? So after that, once you've dried it, because you're not going to finish it, I truly believe that none of you finish this practical today completely, because you have to allow the crystals to dry very much. So probably tomorrow or next tomorrow, take your crystals, go to the melting point apparatus, back to the lab, then determine the melting point, because that's what you were asked to do. That is the aim of the practical. All right, then compare it with that of the 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. All right, 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine was the Brady's reagent, right? So you have to compare that. So why are you even comparing them? And then finally, if you want to report, basically you have to know some few things. These are the headings that we are expecting that should be reflecting in your report manual. You are not expected to write any procedure. Don't write any procedure. All right. The first thing is the title. well written, then followed by your aim, okay, followed by your apparatus stroke reagents. Then you list all the apparatus you used, the reagents you used clearly enough. Then the next thing is your results. Present your results either by calculation, either by table of values or table of observation. Then you have to state the precautions. What were the precautions you took? Okay, you adhered to carry out this experiment successfully. Okay, then finally write a concise conclusion, just a conclusion. So these 6 headings: title, aim, apparatus stroke reagent, result, precautions, 2 precautions, and finally conclusion. Outside this, please don't exceed this. No procedure, don't reflect that. Okay, so this is how you're going to be marked for your practicals. All right, so this is just a summary of today's practical period 4. So before next week, you will be told what practical will be conducted and information that will be given to you. Please adhere to these things. It's very important.